Of a pedophile. What's the definition of a pedophile? Let's read it.
PDF? Yo.
Don't say the word out loud.
Can you use PDF file?
Yes.
Okay,
keyword?
so let's use hebephile. Would they be hebephiles?
I
What is
wouldn't
that?
go. I wouldn't. It's not worth going there. So, yes for men.
But isn't that the definition of...
So then, but then it's the same for women too, who don't like men with beards.
I never said it correlated.
I feel like I don't know.
It doesn't directly correlate
I'm
in
sorry,
that way.
I'm just not really
wouldn't be
when you
the
say it doesn't
beard area.
correlate, but does it correlate
be
when men
lower.
prefer that in women?
I will say the same verbatim, same answer. I never said it correlated. I said society in a broader sense.
Okay, ignoring society.
But that's a correlate.
Ignoring society, though.
That's literally a correlate. It's like if I say society in a broader sense likes it when women wear pink, and you're like, there's no correlate there.
No,
what,
it doesn't.
What do you mean? Of course there's a correlate there. That is
doesn't
a
mean-
correlate.
No, it doesn't mean that if you value that thing, that you automatically are that thing. It doesn't mean that.
That's not what I said. I didn't say that because you value a thing, you are that thing or not that thing. I'm saying that for you to say it's not a correlate because society's pushing it, that's literally a correlate. How could it be anything else? Like saying society pushes ice cream. And I go, well, a lot of people eat ice cream. That's a correlate. You're making a correlate, right?
Do we
It's not direct.
should we get a
It's not
definition
direct.
of correlate?
Sure.
Maybe we need a definition of correlate. I don't know. I'm just confused. So do you object to
One
men?
thing doesn't make one thing
How
the
about
other.
this? Let me ask you a question.
Necessarily.
Let me ask you a question then. Let me frame it. I'm going to frame it. Hold on.
Correlation,
Wait.
a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things.
Okay, let me frame this a little differently. Do you object to men having a preference for women who are clean shaven?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm saying that's like what society values youth. I don't care.
Okay, I'm
don't
gonna
wanna say it,
move
but-
it on off of that. You also mentioned when I said something along the lines of I'm 35, something about dating 25-year-olds. You said that's cringe. Why is that cringe?
because the way you phrased it, you said
How did I phrase it?
I'd rather date someone who's 25 because they have less baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And I said saying that is super cringe.
Why is that cringe?
Because my question was like, why would that be the case?
Why would it be the
That
case
was
that
my
when you having
If that's
lived less 10 years less, why would it be the case that you have less baggage?
But you said you've been through a lot of trauma too, right? So who
I've
would
been
want to
through
date
difficult
you the
things.
same way?
If a woman chooses to disqualify me because of either perceived or real baggage, I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Men and women don't look at trauma the same.
Here's the difference. If, like, for most men, if a woman doesn't want to date them, like, we kind of accept it. Like, we accept, for example, that women prefer tall men. We accept that, right? But you can't seem to for you would want to fight somebody on it. Like, oh, you don't want to date me because of this? Yeah, if a girl doesn't want to date me, she could not want to date me for any reason. I don't care. There's plenty of women out there. I'm not tripping. If specific women or groups of women don't want to date me, they might not want to date me because of my hands, bro. I don't care.
I'm saying on the point that you're making, exact point that you're making. You're saying that
Yes, if a woman...
if someone is younger, they have less baggage.
Am I wrong?
Quote unquote baggage, which I hate that term. It's a weird term.
Why do you hate the term baggage?
Because it like someone said before, I don't know who it was, but just because you've been through trauma doesn't mean you're still traumatized. Like, you can be healed and
Sure.
better from that,
Right.
in
What
a
if you're
way
not,
that you
though?
weren't before.
What if you're not?
Yeah, what if you're not? Then you're not.
Okay. So would it be wrong for me to not want to date somebody who's who's still going through that?
No, not at all.
No,
Okay.
I think we all actually agree on this. It's just kind of being misconstrued the way everyone's saying it. I 100% agree. If you don't want to date someone because you feel like they have a trauma that infringes on your relationship, I 100% agree on that.
Yeah, and it's fair game for women too.
I feel the same
fair game for
way.
women. You don't want to date a guy who's going through some shit.
100%. No one does.
Fair
that's
game.
Wild. But we're just gonna that's 100%.
But why
true.
is it cringe? Why is it cringe?
So no,
because the way you phrased it, you said I'd rather date someone who's 25. The way you said it was cringe.
Maybe you mean someone in general that doesn't have that much baggage.
Yeah, that too. Like it was.
Well, I was giving you some reasons why, but
it could possibly be. Well, at least for me, it's just a generalized statement saying that generally, I understand though, it's true. When you're older, you go through things that can be traumatizing, but that doesn't inherently mean just because you're older, you have more baggage.
Not
on a
necessarily.
general sense. Yeah, not necessarily. But I think that's with me and you, that's the only thing that I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about anyone else's opinions here. I'm saying with that, but I agree with everything. I just wanted to clear that up with you so we were both on the same page.
Okay.
I just wanted to clear that up.
Are we going back on track now?
Yeah, we're gonna.
What should we talk about now?
Okay,
guys?
we weren't really off track. We were just trying to. So the whole point of this, if you make a claim, we just want to test the logic. I just want to know why it is you think what you think and why you think it. The same way when you say to Brian, "Hey, this is cringe," that's you saying, "Okay, I think this thing. I'm making this claim. I think that this is off-putting, or there's something about this which is bad." So he makes the inquiry, well, what about it is bad? Tell me what about it you find off-putting or disturbing or something like this. He's just trying to test the claim. I don't even see why anybody would be upset with this.
Okay. You don't see. Let's read all the comments and see. Like,
you don't
seriously,
I'm reading the comments, bro.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying on your videos that go viral, like, let's read the comments and see why people are upset in the way in which you present your point. You're like, I'd rather date someone who's 25. Like, why do you think people are pissed at you?
Wait.
Yeah, it's the tone. You're mad about the tone. So here's the thing.
No, it's the way he presents his point. I don't give a fuck. I love arguing. I will argue all day.
Wait, hold on.
You can get loud with me. I don't care. I love arguing.
If you love it, then why do you suck at it so bad?
Cool, I don't care. Goodbye.
It's emotion versus logic.
That's an honest question. So I love arguing. I'll make the claim I love arguing. I don't take any of it personally. I literally want to know why you think what you think and how you came to those conclusions. Because I don't suck at arguing, right? I actually want to know your worldview. I don't know if maybe my worldview is wrong. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I believe things that I shouldn't believe.
Maybe you are, and you're just amazing at arguing. You'll never know because you'll never concede,
I would never be able to determine that in a million years, though, if I can't get a contrary worldview from you, which is superior to my own. I could never do that.
Wait, so okay,
you never concede.
You said you want to wait and see for the comments. And there's definitely been some viral clips.
No, I didn't say it like that. I meant like, why do you think the way people respond? Let's be real. Like, why do you think that people respond in the way they respond to you? It's valid. You can't just shut out every criticism, because then you'd be literally a psychopath if you just shut out all criticism and was like, I'm just going to exist and never take what someone says about me with a grain of salt at least.
Wait, so actually
that's fair. What's the criticism?
Yeah, what's the actual argument?
Like, it's not tone policing like this random person is saying.
But you said the people.
Yeah, or like this random person over here saying that you can't make the argument.
Less baggage. What that makes it sound like younger women are easier to manipulate is what you're pretty much saying. Younger women are less experienced.
I did not get that from that at all.
Okay. So what did you get?
Did those work? It's actually interesting because you kind of, I think, accused me earlier of painting, putting words in your mouth. Did those words ever exit my mouth?
You said less baggage, less trauma.
Actually, wait, hold on. Let me just flip this right back at you. Wouldn't somebody who's going through, who's not stable, be easier to manipulate? Somebody who has a lot of baggage is easier to manipulate. Somebody who's not steadfast and is not really grounded, aren't they easier to manipulate? I could just make the argument in reverse.
That can literally
Checkmate.
go. That could go either
Checkmate.
way. That could go either way.
Nope.
Yes, it can.
Somebody who's emotionally stable is less
they're less
easy
likely
to manipulate than somebody who's I don't know, less emotionally
vulnerable. Yeah, like vulnerable.
Yeah, more vulnerable. Yeah. They're in a rough place. They don't have their wits about them. I mean, hey, I hope it never happens.
You don't know anything. You're just better at everything in life.
That's not what I said at all.
I don't think
I said
when you don't know anything. When you haven't experienced things and gone through things. Like, how do you learn anything in life then?
Is actually
like, you're better at
what
nothing?
I'm saying
nothing?
is actually